Called in there and said something flew out of a light truck hit the RV company vehicle.
Boss, I was updating the AAR, and I'll send that to you here.
I brought mine with me.
That'll be the last thing we'll have.
The department is implementing a real-time information center, which we also call the RTIC. It's a 24/7, eventually will be a 24/7 operation, and it enables us to respond more efficiently. We have criminal analysts who are assigned to the RTIC, and as a call initiates, they'll respond to, they'll pull up the information on the call and try to gather as much accurate information as possible and give the officers the correct information. As we've learned in the recent active shooters that we've had and the ones in the past, seconds matter. Seconds saves lives. And so if we can get that accurate information out to the officers quicker, we can ensure that they respond and stop the threat as quickly as possible. Oftentimes they'll be responding to a possible school or a business that they're not aware of where a location may be. They may put out, someone calling 911 may put out information and say it's in room 32. Well, officers may not know what room 32 is located. Well, the Real-Time Information Center, we have maps of many of the schools and businesses, and as we add this in, more businesses in there, they can pull up that map and put that screenshot on the call so officers can know exactly where room 32 is in the building and get to that location quicker to ensure that they can stop the threat as quickly as possible. Yeah, emergencies, happen in a split second, and things change second by second, and also as officers are responding. So as law enforcement, it's very important and imperative that we have accurate information real time as officers are responding to ensure we can get to the scene quickly, and if there's a threat, stop the threat, but ensure the public is safe and ensure that they are doing it effectively and with the appropriate information and the correct information when they arrive on scene. Well, the Real-Time Information Center, or RTIC, it's as law enforcement evolves, as we have manpower shortages within our police department, we want to still be able to ensure that the community is safe and we're responding efficiently and effectively, but also doing it the right way. And the Real-Time Information Center allows us to have a force multiplier. We have civilian or professional staff, which are criminal analysts who will be inside the Real-Time Information Center along with the officer, and they're directly communicating with the officers to give them accurate and detailed information so we can ensure that officers are having positive contacts and proper contacts when responding to calls or incidents. And oftentimes they may respond to something that's really not what it came out, and we may be able to give them information that will let them know before they get to the scene so we don't have any issues occur that may be negative or have a negative contact. Well, I think it's a community partnership with the community. I think as technology evolves, as law enforcement evolves, it's important that we stay innovative and focus on what we can use and what tools are available to us to ensure that, one, we're making the community safer, but we're working together with our community partners. Also, it's important, it'll help us from having negative contacts. There may be a situation where a call comes out of a disturbance or something in the street. The Real-Time Information Center can pull up any cameras that are in the area, and they may see that there's nothing going on, and then you don't have 8 officers responding to a call that's not needed. And those officers also at the same time can be pulled off and respond to calls that are needed. Well, and before, all the technology and stuff that was available as far as cameras, someone calls 911, gives out information. Sometimes they're excited, and sometimes they don't give out the correct information. And then the 911 taker is getting all that information, and then it takes time for that to get to the dispatcher, and then that takes time for the officers to get the information. With the real-time information center, the analyst can pull up that call, they can pull up the cameras in the area and see it live, or even they can rewind if possible on some of the cameras and see actually what happened and give more accurate information. There may be a situation where someone says it was a blue truck that was involved in an armed robbery. Well, you don't want every officer going and stopping every blue truck in the area, and that causes people to have unwanted contacts and unnecessary contacts, whereas they could get that video feed, figure out exactly what vehicle it was. It could have been a black truck, and could have been a black Chevy as a black Ford, or a tag number. They get a tag number and get that information out to officers so they can quickly respond to the scene, and then on top of that have the most accurate and detailed information that's available, not only from 911 and from the dispatchers, but also from all the information that's coming into the real-time information center. Well, just for instance, with a missing child, every minute counts. If you're in a large crowd, whether it be the fairgrounds or downtown at a Thunder event or a Bricktown event downtown, it's important that officers get the information as quickly as possible so we can locate the child and get him safely back to their parents as quickly as possible. That can be done through the real-time information center. They can pull up the cameras in the area. They could also even contact the parents directly and speak to them by phone and maybe get the recent photo that they were wearing that day, so we could get a photo of what the child was actually wearing that day. Or even if we were able to find the child on the cameras, we could get a photo of the child being in that area, so officers can have a more accurate detail of what the child looks like and possibly where they were last seen. At the same time, we can get that information out to the public and share that information also. Another good example would be, as far as the community being involved, by the community registering your cameras with the police department. We had an Amber Alert a few weeks ago where a child was left in a vehicle. Someone jumped in the vehicle, took the vehicle. Officers obviously responded quickly. We want to try and get as much information as we can possibly. Usually we would have to go door to door and say, hey, do you possibly have a camera that can give us more information of maybe where this vehicle was, what the person looked like, what direction they went. If the community registers their cameras, we can quickly pull up and say, there's a camera at this location, and we can send officers directly to that house to try and get more information to get the child back safer. And so that's how the community can get involved and join in with the police department to ensure that we're becoming a safer community.
Beautiful.
Well, RTIC just allows all the technology that's available to us as more of a tools and resources to assist law enforcement to ensure that the public is being safe. As far as big events like the marathon or other events, the RTIC can be up and running, and if we get a suspicious call on a backpack, that a lot of times marathon runners will be running late and they'll throw their backpack down and next to a bush just because they're in a hurry to get to the race. Well, we have to send multiple resources to that to ensure that it is not something more dangerous. Well, with the real-time information center, and if we have cameras that are integrated into that system, that location, we can maybe go back and look and quickly see, yeah, this is runner with this bib number 2342, and know that it's probably more than likely not something that's more serious and we have to shut down and cordon off the area. But we can just keep the situation, keep everybody safer, keep everyone from getting scared or unwarranted threats that aren't really a threat.